Just ahead on Rick Dancer TV, we're going to take you inside the most famous landmark in Old Town Florence, the BridgeWater. We're taking you to lunch. Then we'll introduce you to a procedure that could save your life, and a homeless boy who's changing the lives of people around him through music. That's coming up next. I'm not dead. That sounds like something interesting.
But
Good to see you. Good to see
Rick
you.
Dancer's
Rich Locust. I just came here from.
I think they have a name for
14
that.
feet long.
Today we're in Florence. We're at the BridgeWater Fish House. You got to try their food. We're going to go in here and meet the owners right now.
Hi.
This is Christine Duell, and she and her husband Leo own the BridgeWater restaurant.
Yes.
And tell me a little bit about, you guys bought this how many years ago?
2008. So we're starting our 7th year. It's a very historical building, one of the oldest in town.
It really does say Old Town Florence. I know you have more than fish, because you
Yes.
have burgers and you have everything.
And vegetarian, vegan food, everything. Yeah.
But your fish is to die for.
We're really careful about how we cook our fish. We like to get it fresh when we can. We like to get it wild caught when we can. We're constantly trying to think of new things to add to the menu to make it more interesting for people who come here on a regular basis. They can get their favorite, but they can also try something new.
So we're here on Wednesday, which is Wine Wednesday, and
Yes.
this is a huge deal in
It
Florence.
is.
Well, on the coast, because people come here from all over. Wine Wednesday is what? Explain.
Wine Wednesday is when you can have half price off a bottle of wine, any bottle of wine. And we have 35 wines on our menu. We have a really great wine menu. It's really good.
So people need to like you on Facebook. That you have specials and things on that you put on Facebook.
We do, and Facebook, we have a weekly drawing. So we offer some kind of a special thing, whether it's meals or some of our coffee mugs.
I think you're a smart marketer. I like what you do here. I think you guys. So we're going to introduce you a little bit later to the Zebra Bar. We'll explain the stripes.
Yeah.
And we're also going to show you their signature salad, but I'm not going to tell you any more about it because you'll just have to stay tuned so you
It's
can
gonna be
find
a
out more about
surprise.
it.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
Rick Dancer!
Boomer.
How are you?
Nice. Yeah. Wow.
It's an amazing time to come to Sea Lion Caves. We have the pups and the moms back in the cave now in the hundreds. Today we have about 250 in the cave, and with lots out surfing in the ocean. It's a beautiful day, and it's always like this in Florence.
So you keep it that way, right?
Yes, we do.
So it can rain anywhere else in the state, and Florence is nice.
Right, we have such wonderful people. They bring this wonderful weather with them when they come visit.
Now you know what they say about lion, right?
No, sea lion.
Oh, see? Oh, you just, oh, he's good. Very punny. So, one last question. Boomer, where'd you get that name?
It happened a number of years ago. It has to do with a fairly loud voice.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be turning down the levels on the microphone. I get the boomer part. Nice seeing you, buddy.
Nice seeing you, Rick.
Do you remember Rajneeshpuram? Can you believe it was 30 years ago that the commune in Central Oregon filled the national headlines? Former Oregon Attorney General Dave Frohnmeyer was in the thick of the battle. It was one of the most interesting times in Oregon, and a story with alleged death threats and conspiracy. April 1st, University of Oregon Libraries and Special Collections and University Archives are sponsoring an all-day symposium on Rajneeshpuram. U of O President Emeritus David Frohnmeyer and others will be on hand to talk about the Rajneeshis in Oregon, a communal experiment. For more information about times and speakers, you can go to this website. We have something really great to tell you about. Rick Dancer TV is entering into a partnership with the U of O Libraries Special Collections and University Archives Department. Recently, KZI-TV donated its film and video archives to the U of O. We will start airing some of those stories from the old days. We're going to look at serious topics, historic topics, and as you will see, some really fun stories. Tonight, a story photographer Bill Getz and I produced for KZI way back in the early 90s. The Oregon lottery was up into the tens of millions of dollars. Phil Knight was talking about donating $40 million to build the new addition at Autzen Stadium, and as is customary, that created controversy in the city, and we decided to have a little fun with it.
Here's what I'm looking for. I want the biggest limo you've got, and I want to buy it. How much?
The 34-foot one here is the biggest one around. It's $80,000.
Does that come with a driver?
For $80,000, you can have the driver.
Okay, sold. I could learn to live like this.
Wherever you want to go, Rick.
What I really need is a piece of property, a lot of property, in town, something with a river view, and with a butte. Skinner Butte in the park. Skinner Butte Dancer Park. What I really need is a historic piece of property, an old house. Sheldon McMurphy Johnson Dancer House. I kind of like that. Food. Let's go look for a restaurant, Dan.
Yes, sir.
I want to buy your restaurant. You got it. Can I do West Brothers and this?
Let's put it, let's see.
How much is Mona Lisa? If I just bought Mona Lisa in the bar and all the employees, how much would that cost me?
There's three brothers, Jim, Mike, and Phil. You give us each $1 million, the whole thing's yours. You got a little debt. We got some debt on this thing, but take us out of the equity, $1 million a piece. We're done. We're out of here.
Now, would you have a problem if I change the name?
What do you got in mind?
Instead of Mona Lisa, it's going to be Rick and Lisa. I need a house. I need a big house. Something really big.
Mr. Dancer, we've been expecting you.
This is the kitchen, huh?
This is the kitchen.
Wow. It's for me.
Well, 15 sinks, 7 toilets.
I was really looking for 8.
What does that price sound to you?
Money's not an object.
We're here, Mr. Dancer.
I wonder. Dancer Stadium. I kind of like the sound of that. Welcome to the Zebra Bar. This is the most fun part. I think that it's great. It's just really cozy and nice in here. But I got to ask you. So why zebras? What is this that you have? I saw you once with a zebra scarf on too.
Yeah, you know, it's style.
It's the
all
stripe.
about fashion.
What is it about this?
Well, we just decided to call it the Zebra Bar for fun. Truly for fun. It's not like a zebra ran through here one day or anything. It's
That'd be a great story.
Yeah,
but yeah.
it would, wouldn't it? Something that people remember. Every time people see a zebra, they're going to think of the Zebra Bar. When they wear zebra stripe, they're going to think of the Zebra Bar. And so no matter where you go after you leave here, you're going to be reminded of the Zebra Bar. So.
And 2 years ago, you did a major overhaul in here.
We actually put in a full bar with 22 seats, and it's been really great.
You know what I love about it is when you come down here and you come to Florence, if you want to know Florence, you just sit at the Horseshoe Bar and you start talking to people across the counter who are the locals, and this is the place where you meet and greet
Exactly.
and really discover it.
We're really in the center, and we have a lot of regulars, so a lot of the regular people are in here. Also, it's kind of in a position where you can still watch what's going on in the street, you know? It's kind of private, but at the same time, you can be in touch with what's going on, so.
Well, I like it.
Well, good.
You're not just horsing around, it's a zebra.
That's right.
You know? There are a ton of things to do when you're in Florence recreationally. A lot of lakes in the area, so you can go paddleboarding and you can go kayaking. You know, years ago, hey, this is Eric Leitch, C&M Stables, right?
Oh, yes,
And
hello.
you guys are the new owners, is that
Yes,
right?
yes.
So tell me about the stables and what you guys are doing now. It's been a long time since I've been there.
Well, here's a perfect example. Today we have riders out on the beach.
It was 68 degrees when I left to come on in to have lunch.
Man.
I understand it's a little cooler over in the valley.
Slightly.
We have about 50 horses there altogether. Some of them are boarders, but 40 of them are ours. And we do trail rides and beach rides.
And you guys are about 3 miles this side of the Sea Lion Caves.
Right. Yeah, we're about 8 miles north of Florence. We're just inland from the beach. And
why did you buy? You used to be in the Navy. You were a rocket scientist at one time. You did some work in missiles. What brings a guy like you to Florence, Oregon to do horses?
It's intriguing. I've spent my entire career in the technology field. This is about as far from it as you can get, and it's delightful. I'm a technologist businessman, and so what I like to think that I do is I get to know a risk and then look at something that has the benefit. And so I look not only for financial benefit, but for life benefit. I want to do something that's interesting. And this certainly appeared to be interesting, and it's turned out to be very much interesting.
Did it surprise you how interesting?
It surprised me how involved I have become. I thought this was going to be more arm's length than it has turned out to be. I'm certainly enjoying it.
Oregon's Supported Living Program does some amazing things for people. A lot of times we hear names of organizations and nonprofits and we really don't understand what they do. OSLP works with people with disabilities, and you're going to be especially surprised with what they're doing in the arts and culture community.
There's people there who care about me to get this job.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you? I'm going to work right now.
All right.
I see you.
Oregon's Supported Living Program is a nonprofit that supports adults with developmental disabilities in our community. We change lives and fulfill dreams for people who are often misunderstood and denied opportunities and freedoms they deserve.
That's our role, is to help folks do the things they want to do in order to make their life rich for themselves.
Our clients live and work and play alongside everyone else. Some call that inclusion. We say that's simply the way it should be.
Oh, absolutely. The guys know all the neighbors. Oh, definitely. We're definitely a big part of this neighborhood for sure.
I'm glad we're over here. It's a bigger yard.
OSLP supports people in group home settings with 2 or 3 other people, or in their own individual homes, depending on their needs.
4 guys live in this home, and the layout's definitely not your typical group home. We consider this more of an assisted bachelor pad.
OSLP encourages personal choice, independence, and progress towards self-determined goals.
Like things that they like, that's what we try to do. So people aren't cookie cutter here, so everybody's an individual. Tommy, how you doing, buddy?
The idea for Oregon's Supported Living Program started at the University of Oregon in 1979. We were one of the first agencies in Oregon to move people out of institutions and into our community.
And that's what started this organization, essentially. We're going to prove that people will be happier, healthier, and have less problem behaviors if they're happy and in the community.
And it works. OSLP is growing. Our clients are in the community, interacting, participating, and now working.
And that's what we're really trying to do, is help everyone that we support feel part of this community at Oregon Supported Living Program, and more so a part of their community around them that they're living with.
Can you give me 5? Good job.
Painting a little house, Perry? What is this house? Whose house was that? Perry, whose house is that?
Maybe for your health.
Community is emphasized in everything we do. The OSLP Arts and Culture Program is a groundbreaking, inclusive, and multidisciplinary arts program.
What are you working on?
That is accessible to all people.
So you're helping us with the community canvas for Saturday's event?
Yeah.
Everybody's an important part of culture, and everybody has a story to tell. Everybody has something to express, and this program gives that opportunity for everybody.
Expression is something that connects us to other people, and our program is stretching not only the imagination of those we support,
That's a good spin, Perry.
but the arts community in general.
The arts provide a universal language that can bridge the gap caused by differences. And Oregon Supported Living Program provides a variety of art programs, including music, painting, and dance.
That's the great thing of us doing performances, of us having a gallery, is people who maybe had preconceived notions come into this space and are so touched by the artwork they see, so impressed by it.
We're here with Dick Shore from Sandpine Golf Links, one of the nicest courses on the Oregon coast.
And we have one of the best playing surfaces year-round of really any course in Oregon or the Northwest.
Where do most of your people come from?
Willamette Valley, Eugene, Springfield. When the weather's bad over there, as it very often is in the wintertime, we're beautiful on the coast.
That fog kind of helped you guys out this year, didn't it?
The fog helped a lot in January. Yes, it did.
18 holes.
Yes.
You also have a clubhouse. Tell me a little bit about your restaurant, because it's beautiful.
Tavolo Restaurant is a beautiful restaurant, and we have excellent cuisine for, it's a very varying cuisine. It's not particularly a theme, but it's suited for just about any appetite.
And you have a nice little lounge there.
A beautiful lounge.
Little karaoke. There's quite a few karaoke stars here in town.
We have some karaoke stars, and we do a lot of special events there.
So how do people find out more about you guys?
Sandpines.com. We got our website. We have a live cam where you can get our current weather, see actual people golfing.
So tell me about your signature dish. This is the thing that people come in here for miles to have.
Yeah, it really is. Everybody loves our mandarin salad. And we first tasted this salad when we were in Mexico. We were living down there. And our neighbor would have us over for dinner, and she made the mandarin salad. And it was tossed with a sweet poppy seed dressing, had mandarin oranges, blue cheese, almonds, and red onions on it. So when we opened the restaurant, we decided to put that on our menu because it was an absolute favorite. And then we added, for Oregon, we added hazelnuts instead of almonds. So that was our little touch. And then people can add any kind of protein they want. So they can have sauteed prawns, they can have tempeh if they're vegetarian, they can have crab or ahi.
You are going after what with your food?
Healthy, really healthy food, first of all. We strive for consistency and for, a nice portion so that people are satisfied and full and feel like they got their money's worth.
Talking about your colonoscopy is not something most people do, but we do. We think it's important that you understand how important this procedure really is and that it's really not that big a deal. So we took a camera, we're going to walk you through the procedure and show you that you really have nothing to worry about.
Good afternoon, Rick. Good seeing you.
Hi, Dr. Wu.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. A colonoscopy is not one of the aspects of turning 50 most of us get all that excited about.
Most of the time, patients will say that the procedure itself, after this point, is a piece of cake. Okay? It's all getting ready for that, with drinking that stuff and fasting. That's the hardest thing.
After fasting for 24 hours, it's time to begin the preparation. All right. Here we go.
There's a whole day you have to drink liquids, and then you have to drink some substance that will actually purge the bowels. We need all that material out of your colon for us to get a good look. So I think there's a lot of people who hesitate for that reason alone.
We're not going to show you the rest of this part. We'll catch up with you tomorrow at the clinic.
You check in, have you, of course, change into a gown. They'll start an IV for us to give you IV fluids and also give you sedation. And then you're taken into a special room, which is where the procedure is.
Yeah, how far in do you go?
We want to go all the way to the beginning of the colon, which is where your appendix lives. So it's about, if you will talk distance, about 5 or 6 feet, depending how you measure it.
Once the doctor administers the sedative, I didn't feel or remember a thing.
The resolution on this scope is very good. We can see polyps just 1 or 2 millimeters in size, which if you look on a ruler, it's pretty small. So we have to actually go from the anus, advance it sort of up the tunnel, if you will, to get to the way over here, which is what we call the cecum, or the beginning of the colon.
5 to 8% of Americans will be diagnosed with colon cancer in their lifetime. That's about 1 in 15 people.
We slowly come out, look at all the all the walls of the colon, if you will. Look at all the all the surface area. We're looking for polyps, which are little growths of tissue. They look like warts almost. They could be potentially precancerous growths. And we look for anything that might be abnormal.
Colon cancer is one of the only cancers that the death rate is actually dropping. Colon cancer is also one of the only cancers you can prevent with this type of procedure.
Which is pretty astounding if you think about it, and pretty exciting. But people don't recognize that that's, what's the price of that sort of assurance in that process? Well, the price is drinking some stuff, going to the bathroom, being on a liquid diet, and going through a colonoscopy once every 10 years or so. That's not that big a deal.
Still, of the people who should be getting screened with a colonoscopy, only about 50% are actually doing so.
And I think part of that is the privacy issue. Like, okay, it's not in private, in polite company, you don't mention anything about anuses or rectums or colons or bowels or prostate or...
The experts at Eugene Gastroenterology Consultants are trying to demystify the colonoscopy with some creative, innovative, and sometimes humorous public education campaigns.
As I mentioned, sort of the puritanical view of, oh, let's not talk about that. But they didn't talk about breast cancer 50 years ago. It was a taboo topic. It's like, oh, don't ever talk about breast. That's not what you talk about in polite company. But if you look at what's changed over the years, that view has changed, and appropriately so.
The hope is the more comfortable we become talking about these issues, the more normal the colonoscopy will be. The colon conversation is slowly changing.
The biggest reason is to hopefully prevent colon cancer from forming. Or the other reason, which is obviously plan B, is to catch it earlier. Because the earlier we catch colon cancer, the more treatable it is.
If you want to find out what's going on in Florence, you go to the Florence Chamber. If you want to find the Florence Executive Director of the Chamber and you're in Old Town, you go to Gazebo Park.
Hi, Rick. How you doing?
It's really good to see you. I want to talk a little bit about, because rodeo days are just around the corner.
Absolutely.
You guys need to be planning if you're going to come down here. So tell me what we can expect this year.
Full house. I mean, the city gets packed during rodeo days. We have probably between 15 to 17,000 people come through town on that weekend. It's huge.
Street fair?
Street fair going on right down here in Old Town on Maple Street. We'll have 34 vendors lined up. Food, all kinds of food variety, all kinds of crafts.
Parade on Sunday.
Parade on Sunday. We actually have a parade on Saturday for the little kids as well. And a lot of people don't know that little fact about our long-running festival.
And my favorite part is the bikers.
The bikers.
The bikers come down.
You can bring your bike down and
I can get my leathers on and
do
my thing.
Come down to Old Town and have a beer.
4th of July.
4th of July.
Little change this year.
Little change this year. We've historically always shot the fireworks off of a barge in the river. We've lost our barge this last year. It's disappeared. So what the Port of Sayula has taken on the challenge of doing our fireworks display, and they're actually going to be placing the fireworks on the dredge spoils at the eastern end of their property. So they'll still come up over the water and it'll still be a spectacular show, just won't be out off the water this year.
Do I have to change my place where I watch them?
No, it'll pretty much be the same location as usual.
Kathy and I came to Florence a few weeks ago and we found this new park. It's an interpretive center right in the heart of Old Town, right on the water. It's the coolest place. And so I called my friend Cindy Wabi because Cindy knows everything. She's the president of the chamber and she owns Mon Ami, one of our favorite places to eat and have coffee. There.
Thank you.
That sounds almost like a commercial.
Kind of sort of does, yeah.
No, you do have great food and a great place, and I love your staff.
They're
good people.
I do too. I'm a lucky lady.
You are a lucky lady. So tell me about this park.
This is just our little crown jewel here. This is the Sayula Interpretive Center. We opened, I don't know, it's been about 6-7 months ago. We had our ribbon cutting here. This has been a project here that's been many years in the creation, many agencies here, and our city manager really, this was her special project that she took on several years ago.
And Jackie really pushed that through.
She did. It wouldn't have happened without Jackie. And what this area here is, it's a natural habitat that's been preserved forever.
Yeah.
We've got little stations here that will have signs going on shortly that explain kind of some of the little natural scenic wonders that we have here. If you come here, you get to really, everywhere you look, just sort of see a little snippet of everything that makes Florence spectacular. The dunes, the river, the boats, the bridge, Old Town. It's just here.
There's one thing we don't see from here. Mon ami.
We don't. Yeah.
So how do they get a hold of you?
Well, I'm just up around the corner on the highway.
On Highway 101?
Highway 101 in the Antique District, and stop at my place, get a coffee, come down here and enjoy paradise.
A friend of mine, Ben McKee, used to work at KEZI. He now works for the Denver Public School System. He called me the other day. He put together a story, and I said, you know what? Our viewers are going to love to see this. It's about a young man who's homeless, who's using music to change the lives of the kids around him. Watch.
At a school where some 45 different languages are spoken every day, there's one language that is universal.
There's a lot of give and take. When things are really going right, the teachers learning, the students are learning, and everybody's growing.
Few appreciate more the language of music than South High School junior Dominic Ellerby.
Music, yeah, I love it. I love bass because it's so low and warm, and whenever I play it, it's a vibrating instrument, really. I can feel each note.
He composes. He leads his classes.
The chorus solo.
He tells a story.
And there are some things that just can't be expressed through words.
His own story, a story he's lived for the past 14 months.
Well, I haven't really had a home since about January 16th last year. When it happened, we got evicted, and it was because my mom, she lost her job, and my father isn't here. So, and my grandma had actually moved out to New Mexico that last summer, before January. And so we had no real support.
And somehow, support is not a problem for Dominic. His foundation provided by this music.
He's also a composer, an arranger, a performer. He was always a naturally gifted player, but he does have the work ethic to take that to another level.
3, 4.
A level where he's not only teaching freshmen how to play guitar,
good job, guys.
He's a master of music theory. Even that can't stop him.
The pure fact that he loves what he's doing, and you can just see that when he's playing, you can see it in his expression. Everything stems from that.
How does a story so difficult,
It's been a really rough ride,
turn out so well?
I still have music. I still have my bass. I still have, I'm really I guess just blessed.
He's able to overcome obstacles through the love of music.
After 14 months of living on friends' couches with just his guitar, Dominic and his family will be back together in a permanent home in March.
What's helped you get through this?
My friends, music, certainly, and just a really positive attitude.
Dominic's life is a lot like the music he plays. In measures, it's a lot of ups and downs. But when you put it all together, it creates a masterpiece.
It adds a sense of normality. This is right.
Eugene.
Yeah, and that's why we like it.
And we leave you with a little blast from the past, some of the people I used to work with.
11 o'clock, and we hope to see you then. Have a great rest of your Memorial Day weekend.
Good night. Good night.
Get back from our fast-paced lives and take notice of the people and places that surround us.
And whether you spent this Memorial Day weekend,
exhibits including pioneer life and early logging in Lane County. Back to you.
Thanks, Colleen. When we come back, struggling Springfield families have...
and all the photography, the editing, and the writing of that entire piece was done by photographer Bill Getz.